Welcome students. In the last class we have studied about the reflection at plane surface. Now in this class we are going to study about reflection at spherical surfaces. The spherical surfaces we can also say curved surface. The best examples are, we know, concave mirror and convex mirror. Now let us try to understand how this concave and convex mirror are formed. Let us consider a hollow glass sphere. We know what is a sphere. Everybody, you might have played cricket and the rubber ball. The rubber ball is the shape of a hollow sphere, and we call it hollow because inside it is totally empty. It is not compact. It is not filled with any matter, right? So you have to consider a rubber ball, but the rubber ball we have assumed it is made up of glass. So I have taken a spherical glass ball, right? Now this glass ball has a center. This is a sphere and the sphere has a center, and I call that as C. Now we cut some part of the glass sphere like this, and let us take that part out like this. So this is the part, this is the glass, part of the glass which is cut from the sphere. Now, the surface which is bulging outside is called as convex surface. This is very important. We are not talking about mirror right now. The surface which is bulging outside is called as convex surface, and the surface which is bulging inside we call as concave surface. So we must understand what is a convex surface and concave surface. The surface which is bulging outside is called as convex, and the surface which is bulging inside is called as, or curved inside, we call it as a concave surface. Now, if you take such surface and if you paint the convex part, the concave surface acts like a reflecting surface. Now this kind of mirror is called as concave mirror. Let me write here. Concave mirror. Why this is called concave mirror? Because the concave surface acts like a mirror. So in case of concave mirror, the convex mirror is painted and the concave surface acts like a mirror. Now, if suppose the concave surface is painted, then the convex surface acts like a mirror. This is a reflecting surface. And this mirror is called as convex mirror. So most of the students get confused with the convex mirror and the concave mirror. There is no need of any confusion. When you look at this curved surface, if the concave surface acts like a mirror, it is called as concave mirror. If the convex surface acts like a mirror, it is called as a convex mirror. Now let us try to learn some of the important points related to concave mirror and convex mirror. I hope you have understood this. Important points related to convex and concave mirrors. So you can also understand, so this is a plane surface, and if I bend like this, right, now this bulging part is what we call as convex surface, and which is bent inside, which is curved inside is called as a concave surface. Outside is convex and this is concave surface. Suppose if it is painted this side, convex part is painted, the concave surface acts like a mirror. This is called as, then this is called as a concave mirror. Suppose if it is like this, right? If it is painted inside, okay. If it is painted inside and outside acts like a mirror, this is called as a convex mirror, right? Now let us try to see some important points. First of all, let me draw sphere once again, and it has a center and I denote it as C. So C is called the center of curvature. Center of curvature. Now what I am doing is I am cutting some part, right? Now that part just I would like to put here, and I will take here also. Let me I want to show two mirrors. Now here, if I am painting this side, as we have learned, this is called as concave mirror. Concave mirror. And this C, I am showing the point C here. So this is an imaginary point actually. So the concave mirror has center of curvature, and if it is painted this side, we know that it is convex mirror. This is convex mirror. Convex mirror. For the convex mirror also you have the C here. Why? Because the same mirrors are taken from a same sphere. So the C, the point which is here, so we have the center of curvatures here. So we have the center of curvature for convex mirror, we have the center of curvature for concave mirror. Now, when you look at these mirrors, let me denote this as M dash. From here to here, M dash. Here also, I denote it as M dash. Now, this is a portion of the mirror which acts like a reflecting surface. So that portion which is acting like a reflecting surface is called as aperture. So I call M dash. M dash is called as an aperture. Called as an aperture. Now, suppose M dash, this length of this piece, suppose if it is 6 centimeters, then exactly the middle, the geometric center is what I denote it as P, and it is called as pole. So the geometric center of the mirror is called as pole. I also have geometric center here also, that is P. So I am showing here P is the geometric center, it is called as pole. So we have center of curvature, we have aperture, and we have the pole for both the mirrors. Now I am joining the center of curvature and the pole and I am extending on both sides. So I am getting one line, and this line is, you have to remember, it's an imaginary line. So the line which is passing to center of curvature and the pole is called as a principal axis. So we have the principal axis here also. We have the principal axis in case of convex mirror also, right? So let me write here, this is principal axis. Principal axis. This is principal axis. So we have seen three important points: center of curvature, aperture, and the pole. Now, if you see the distance between C and P, that is the CP, the distance between the center of curvature and the pole is called as a radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. And radius of curvature is denoted by letter R. The radius of curvature is defined by, denoted as letter R. So let me see children. So we have learned about the center of curvature, aperture, pole and radius of curvature. So you have to keep in mind the center of curvature is always towards the left in case of the concave mirror as well as the convex mirror. Okay children, so we have studied about a center of curvature, pole, radius of curvature and aperture of concave mirror and convex mirror. So if you want to define center of curvature, how do you define center of curvature? So this center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which the mirrors are part. Means initially this is the center of the sphere, and from the center from the sphere these two mirrors have been cut, and then we have painted like this. So therefore we can define the center of curvature as the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. And P, pole. What is pole? The pole is defined as the geometric center of the mirror, and this is applicable for both the concave and the convex mirror. And CP, that is R, radius of curvature. The distance between the pole and the center of curvature is called the radius of curvature. It is applicable here also. And M dash, that is aperture. So the portion of the mirror which reflects the light. So that is what we call as the aperture, and it is denoted as M dash. So I show here M dash. M dash. So center of curvature and the pole are the points, whereas the radius of curvature is the distance. Okay, right. Now next we are going to discuss about very important point called as principal focus, which is present for concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay children, now let us try to locate the principal focus for concave and convex mirrors. So first concave mirror. Concave mirror. Let me draw the concave mirror. So this is a concave mirror, and this part is shaded, convex part is shaded. Now this is the pole of the concave mirror, and we have the center of curvature here, and the line joining the center of curvature and the pole is called as principal focus. This is the principal focus. Now in order to get the principal focus, initially you have to incident parallel beam of light rays onto these mirrors. Generally a parallel beam comes from an object which is at a very far distance. Generally it may be at infinity distance. So a parallel beam of light rays must be incident on the concave mirror. So I am going to draw three parallel light rays onto the concave mirror. So this is the first light ray, and the second one I am going to incident on the principal axis, and the third one below the principal axis. One is above, one is on the principal axis, another one is below. You can draw any number of light rays, but the more you draw it becomes complicated. Okay, as we have three incident light rays, we have 3 point of incidence. This is one point of incidence, this second point of incidence, this is a third point of incidence. Now how to get the reflected light rays? Some of the students will get a doubt, that is whether the light ray is reflected upwards or whether light ray is reflected downwards. So for that we must know first how to draw the normals. If you look at the diagram here, we already know this is the reflection in case of the plane mirror. This is the incident ray, this is a normal, and this is a reflected ray. So always incident ray and the reflected on the either sides of a normal. So now we must draw the normal at this particular point here. So generally the normal for this curved surfaces always will pass through the center of curvature. Let me draw the normal. So this is the normal. This is the point of incidence, and the normal is this line which generally passes through the center of curvature. Now next let me draw the normal here. This is the normal. And here the principal axis itself the normal. Now as the reflected ray is either at the other side of the normal, now here is the incident ray, the reflected ray will be this side, not upwards. So following the laws of reflection, we get the reflected ray like this. This is the first reflected light ray, and the second incident ray will be reflected, it will just retrace its path, and the third reflected light ray will pass like this following laws of reflection. One of the important point which you have to remember here is that the laws of reflection are valid, or you can say the spherical surfaces will follow laws of reflection. So here we can see that we got three reflected light rays, and the three reflected light rays are meeting at the point, and that point is what we call as a principal focus F. Principal focus F. So how do you define principal focus? The principal focus is a point where when parallel beam of light rays are incident on the concave mirror, the point where the reflected light rays meet, that point is what we call as a principal focus. And this principal focus is called as a real focus. Why we call it as a real focus? Because the reflected light rays are actually meeting. So we call that as a real focus. And one more point is that when parallel beam of light rays are incident on concave mirror, we can see that all the reflected light rays are converging. So therefore, concave mirror is also called as converging mirror. So I am writing here converging mirror. Okay. Now, let us see for convex mirror. Convex mirror. Let me draw the convex mirror. So I am going to draw the convex mirror like this, and it is painted on concave side, and this is the pole, and let me say this is the center of curvature, and here also you have to insert parallel beam of light rays. So let me say this is one parallel beam of light, this is first one, this is second, and this is third. So as the reflecting surface is convex, so we are drawing the parallel beam of light rays on the convex surface. Okay. Now these are the three incident light rays. Now how the light rays is reflected? So for that again you have to draw the normals. Now how to draw the normal here? So the line should pass through the center of curvature. So this is the normal here. This is the normal. And here. And here the normal will be along the principal axis. Right. Now this is the angle of incidence. And the angle of reflection will be this side. That is, the light ray must go upwards. Light ray should not go this side. If it goes this side, it is against the laws of reflection. So now the light ray is moving upwards, let me say, following the laws of reflection. This is the first reflected light ray. Okay. And the second incident ray is also reflected, and it retraces its path. It goes like this, just like the second one here. And the third one here, so this is a angle of incidence. So the angle of reflection will be this side. So the reflected ray will pass somewhere like this. So this is the first reflected ray, second reflected ray, and the third reflected ray. These three reflected light rays do not meet, they diverge. So here you are not going to get a real focus, you are going to get a virtual focus. So let me get the position of that virtual focus. So for that, the reflected light rays should be extended backside, as we have done in the case of virtual image. Yes. So we can see that all the reflected light rays, if you extend backside, they again meet at a particular point, and that point is what we call as a principal focus. Now this principal focus in case of convex mirror is called as a virtual focus. The principal focus of concave mirror is called as a real focus. The principal focus of convex mirror is a virtual focus. Why? Because the reflected light rays are not actually meeting. Right? So I will write the convex mirror is called as a diverging mirror. Is called as a diverging mirror. Why it is called diverging mirror? Because When parallel beam of light is at incident, the reflected light is a diverging. So it's called as a diverging mirror. Convex mirror is always called diverging mirror. And concave mirror is always called as converging mirror. Why? Because when parallel beam of light is at incident, the reflected light is actually meet. Okay children, finally let us see the relation between the radius of curvature and focal length. We have already seen how to find out principal focus in case of concave mirror and convex mirror. This is the center of curvature, this is the principal focus, and this is the pole. And the distance between the C and P is called as, you already know it, radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. And the distance between the principal focus and pole, that is FP, is called as focal length. Focal length. And focal length is represented with small f. Radius of curvature is represented with capital R. And this is applicable for both mirrors, right? So this distance is radius of curvature, this distance is focal length. This is the radius of curvature and this is the focal length. Now we are going to see the relationship between the R and F, that is radius of curvature and focal length. So let me write the relation here. It has been found that the focal length is always half of the radius of curvature, that is R is equal to 2F. This implies F is equal to R by 2. Suppose radius of curvature is 6 centimeters, then the focal length will be 3 centimeters. So the relationship is, that is the focal length is always half of the radius of curvature.